The last breath of summer is blowing down our necks, and soon we'll wave goodbye to the fleeting bliss, because you are like a tidal wave sweeping up my life, not living without a trace. And you know that I'm your silent patient. You know I'm your silent patient. I've been waiting this long out for your hands to hold me up. I've been holding on through the winter for your kiss to wake me up. Now with the colors of spring, my heart will blossom up again. Speeding up, and with your smile, it will erupt.
Oh my God. Oh my freaking goodness. Sorry, you guys. Holy cow. Man, does it feel good to be back in New York City. I cannot get over this view. I cannot get over it. I'm so freaking excited to be here. Anyways, if this is your first time stopping by to my channel and clicking on this video, hi guys, my name is Sade. Thank you for choosing to spend these next 2 days with me here in the city. Holy cow. Anyway, if you guys are curious where I'm staying, I am at the citizenM Bowery Hotel, which is in the SoHo area, so downtown Manhattan. And I have been wanting to stay at this hotel for some time now. I've seen it on, Pinterest, and I'm like, this view is just incredible. So I couldn't think of a better place to be than at this hotel, despite the less than optimal weather. At first, I have to admit, so I took the train up. I live in the Baltimore, Maryland area. And so as I was taking the train up, it was like full on snowing. And it's supposed to snow, it was forecast to snow rather, all day today. And because I'm only here 2 days, I'm like, fuck. I wasn't sure, how this would pan out. But now that I have taking a glimpse of this view, I just feel so much better and definitely in a much better headspace. Why am I here, you're wondering? So again, I chose New York. I don't live too far from here, so it was just easy to just jump on the Amtrak train and get here in less than 3 hours. And honestly, for me, New York City is just a special place, right? For me, it just represents freedom and dreams and optimism and just your wildest desires, millions of dreams of people walking in their own stories on the street. And so I find the city very inspiring. I know that it's not for everyone, but for me, I love the hustle and bustle of the city. I love the fact that you can be whoever you want here. And maybe people might think that you're crazy doing dance routines on the subway or singing on street corners, but they keep it moving. They keep their life going. And I love that. I love that you can dress and kind of be whoever you want in this. And there's little, how do I say, little judgment, I guess. And so for me, there's very few cities in the world that allow or make space for that type of freedom to be fully authentically yourself without feeling like you need permission or you're like a weirdo or anything like that. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to come here to New York. Secondly, this city obviously has a perceived fearlessness to chase after your dreams. And, 2026 is going to be a very pivotal year. I'm claiming it, pushing out into existence, into the universe for me, because I am trying to start a new business venture, which we'll talk about a little bit more here in a second. But and so I really needed to feel inspired and be in a space where I feel like I don't have to be embarrassed or shy to have these kinds of big dreams, because I feel like this city lends itself for you to just go balls to the wall and like give it all that you got. And I just love it here so much. And particularly, I'm trying to push past, this imposter syndrome that I have and have been having in these last couple of months as I've been trying to build out this brand. And, I may not have the confidence today to say and declare that I am a founder of a small business or a startup business. But I hope by my action as I'm walking the streets and doing some photography of my cube, that I will slowly build that confidence and just feel like, as I see people be authentically themselves and shine bright, that it kind of gives me permission to shine my light bright as well. So yeah, this is just a really quick trip here to New York City. I'm only here for one night, 48 hours, less than 48 hours really, and primarily just here to shoot product for my brand new business venture that I am starting up, which I guess I should tell you guys a little bit about. So I am starting a premium luggage and travel accessories brand called Samaán Baggē. Samaán meaning belongings in Hindi. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege to live in New Delhi, India for almost 2 years and be able to travel the entire country. And I was just so inspired by India's long history, its vibrant and diverse culture, and just the way people move around the city. And so this word really struck me, Samaán. Not only is it like audibly beautiful, but belongings, just aside from, things that you own, for me, it embodies you as a person belonging to the rest of the world. And so at its core, Samaán is about travel, it's about movement and the story that you carry, whether that be emotionally or physically every time that you step out into the world. So I wanted to come here and shoot Samaán's very first product, which is so crazy that I have this in hand now. We haven't launched it yet and we hope to soon, which is why I'm trying to build up some content here for our website and social media and stuff like that. But this is our premium vacuum compression packing cube. Say hi. She's quite large. And I absolutely love it. It is such good quality material, this non-rip TPU nylon. You have the vacuum compression valve here. It has great handles, big zippers, and airtight waterproof seal to make sure that your items stay compressed. And on the very back, it is completely transparent, as well as the strip towards the front, which I love because unfortunately a lot of the packing cubes on the market, especially the vacuum compression ones, you can't really see what's inside. So if you're taking a long trip, that was always just something that frustrated me as a traveler. Not to mention the vacuum compression cubes weren't like aesthetically the most beautiful. And so this one I sketched in my sketchbook, and I was very fortunate to find an amazing manufacturer who was able to bring my design to life. And so I'm very proud of this. But, as we've just gotten it, I realized that if I'm going to sell this product and bring it to the market, for me, it was important for me to carry it and travel with it and take it with me in real life settings versus just doing photography professionally. Like, I wanted to see if it can withstand the toughness of places like New York City. And so I want to carry it with me out into the city and just, you know, really embody what it is to be on the go and just make sure that it holds up, because I didn't want to bring no crap to you guys. Like, and I'm a consumer myself, which is why I felt there was a blank space and a need for something like this. And, you know, 2025 started, you know, I was very depressed, and I just, you know, sometimes in those deep, darkest moments, you know, it can actually be a really good indicator of how to find your true north and just following joy. And it led me to deciding, like, damn, maybe I want to pursue entrepreneurship. And because, you know, I love travel so much, it is a big passion of mine. You can ask any of my friends or my family, you know, travel is just like, something I really can't live without. And so for me, this is just such an honor to be able to, you know, do something like this. And I just think it's so cool. But anyway, I don't have much time here in the city, unfortunately. And because I arrived at 11 a.m. and I couldn't check into my hotel till 2, it's now like 10 till 3. We don't have much time, but I didn't want to waste the day because, you know, we do have limited daylight in the winter time. So I decided to go ahead and put my luggage in storage here at the hotel, and then hit the streets, get a lay of the land in the area that I'm kind of staying in, get an idea of where it is that I would want to potentially shoot, and knock some things off of my list. This has to be the best bagel I've ever had. Look at that, lox. With the scallion cream cheese. It's not cheap. It's a $16 bagel, but The last time I was in New York City, I just happened to stumble upon it. And I just wanted something quick, a quick bite that I could just take with me as I was actually heading out of the city and on my way to the train station. And I was not expecting for it to be an explosion of flavor and deliciousness, can't even talk, in my mouth. Needless to say, as soon as I decided I was gonna come back into New York, I found a hotel that's pretty nearby. And I was really happy that I got to go back there. And, oh my gosh, the lady who was taking my order, they asked for your name, and then you wait and you get called whenever your order is ready. Anyways, when I told her that my name was Sade, she was so excited. And that's now the second person in the city who's been excited about it. Sade is a singer. Hopefully you guys are aware, but she's like a legend, like 80s, 90s, jazz, R&B singer, British, Nigerian, gorgeous, hasn't aged. Not that that matters, but anyways, I guess her daughter is also named Sade. And I always feel like there's just so much pride. I feel like when I meet people who are either named Sade or have friends and family, I am biased. I really do love my name. But she was so kind and so excited and just made me feel very special. And as she was handing me my order, she was so nice and gave me a keychain for Leon's Bagels. So thank you, ma'am, to whoever you are. If you're watching this, if you happen to be watching this, you really made my day. So thank you so much. And if you guys are interested in trying out this incredible bagel, like so freaking good, it's called Leon's Bagels down in SoHo, very nearby Little Italy. So you definitely have to try it out, add it to your list. Anyway, I'm gonna finish eating this bagel and then it's sad to say, but the day is already escaping us. Thankfully, it looks like the weather has tempered down some, so I may be able to get out there and start doing a little bit of shooting. But anyways, I don't wanna be negative about this. Let's just reframe the limitations of the weather and just make the most of it. And hopefully we'll be creatively inspired as soon as we get out into the street. Let's hope. Oh my gosh. I must be freaking out of my mind. So about half hour ago, it started to really snow. And as I'm walking out to our first shooting location, now it's become more of a sleet. So definitely cold. I don't plan to be out here too long, especially because the sun is already going down. Winter hours, unfortunately. But that's okay because I'm really enjoying this. It's so beautiful, this area. And there is this quaint area that's classic New York, quiet street. So let's take it out and see if we can get some good shots. Okay, this is the part that always feels a little awkward. I'm setting up my tripod, iPhone out, framing the shot, trying to act like this is completely normal, which honestly it is, but it still takes a second to get over that feeling of being watched, especially as a woman. Standing here does make me vulnerable. When you're traveling alone and creating alone, there's no one to hide behind. No crew, no distraction, just you and your courage. People are walking by, some are curious, some don't notice at all. And of course, that little voice in my head starts asking, do I look silly? Do I belong here doing this? But this is work. And if I want the shot, I have to get over the embarrassment. If I want to build this brand, I have to be willing to be seen trying before it looks polished, before it looks impressive. There's something really freeing about the moment when you stop worrying about how you look and start focusing on why you're here. Because this street isn't just a backdrop, it is a reminder. Every story starts somewhere. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is set up the tripod and press record anyway. Not sure why I thought it would be a good idea to come out here in the rain as the sun was going down, but hey, I will give myself an A for effort. Anyways, I think today was a total bust. I didn't like how any of those photos turned out. I'll have to really look at them when I get back to the hotel to see if maybe I caught one. Otherwise, tomorrow it's not supposed to snow. We're supposed to have a sunny day. So maybe I'll try and come back to this corner tomorrow. But in any case, the show must go on. It's already 5 p.m., a little after 5, and I have dinner reservations at an Italian restaurant down the street from my hotel. And so I guess it's probably a good idea. Try not to get hit by traffic. I guess it's probably a good idea to start heading back. Maybe take a shower, give myself a moment to relax, and then we'll go have dinner. All right, see you guys in a bit. Home, sweet home. Oh, it's toasty in here. Oh my gosh. Well, I really tried, guys. I really tried. But I'm a little bit behind the curve, but that's okay. Try to make the best out of the weather, even though it's rainy, snowing-ish. But that's okay. That's okay, because there's always tomorrow. I did request for a late checkout at 2 p.m., which I'm very happy that they honored. So I will have a good part of the morning to see if I can go back and get some better pictures. Actually, let's take a look at them because I was kind of rushing on the street. So let's see if any of them actually came out decently. Maybe one. Let's see. All right, let's see if we got anything good. Hopefully at least 1 or 2 photos. I'm not sure, but I want to show you guys first the inspiration that I was going for, which obviously the street looks a little bit different. This photo is from a different time of year. This is the inspiration that I was going for. Clearly the focal length is a little bit off. I was a little bit nervous because there was a lot of traffic on the street. She either probably got someone to take this for her quickly as cars are going by, or, you know, came early in the morning, which is ideal when you want to get solo shots like this and not have any distractions in your photos. But yeah, I doubt I got any that are that lovely. She looks amazing. And to be frank, I'm doing a lot of these photos with my iPhone, which isn't the best. Like, I'm still rocking number 12, y'all. I would like to upgrade, but also I would like to upgrade my vlogging camera, get a new laptop. So I'm trying to prioritize things incrementally because your girl don't got it like that one. But also, as I'm swiping through these photos now, I'm noticing that you can see that my nerves are in this picture, obviously, because there are people out, people walking around. And so I get very nervous and shy, and I just feel a little silly, even though people are looking and they're a little bit curious because they see you with a camera, but they don't care. And that's the part that I just need to get out of my head. Like, nobody gives a fuck about me trying to take some photos on a street corner. So yeah, you can just see some of them are out of focus. Some of them are a little blurred. And unfortunately, I don't know if I like any of these, just because you can see the nerves on my face. And this is something that I really need to work on. And, you know, if I am going to do this, I just got to tell myself, you know, it's okay. These are like normal emotions to have when you're feeling a little bit insecure. But if you can just give yourself 5 minutes of courage and bravery, like, you just need 5 minutes just to get through, to get the shot that you want, because at the end of the day, it's going to be so worth it. And it's for the brand. And I want to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward, especially because this is, you know, this is what's going to be the determining factor on whether someone can kind of put yourself in your shoes and into your story. And so tomorrow, hopefully we'll have better weather, and then I can just give myself a little pep talk in the morning to just fucking full send it, pretend like I'm Naomi Campbell out there on the streets, which I'm not, and just will pretend and, you know, hopefully find the courage, at least momentarily, put on my Sasha Fierce to show up, to go ahead and produce the types of photos and content that I want. Also, I think I forgot to mention, I think I'm going to post this. I have two YouTube channels. I have my personal one, illustrated by Sade, which is my travel channel that I do. And then I just created a new separate channel just for this business. It's at Samaán Baggē, I think, or is it My Samaán? I'll put it here somewhere on the screen and link it down below. If you guys are interested and want to subscribe to both. I think for now, I'll be posting a lot of these videos on both channels, just, you know, as I kind of build my audience on the business channel. But then also, you know, people who have been following me here for a long time, which I'm so thankful and appreciative of, that you've been following me, you know, since the start of my journey, you know, being that I'm such a small channel. I think it's cool to just kind of, at least I enjoy it, watching other content creators kind of evolve and move into different stages of their lives and, you know, share other interests outside of the very niche category of travel that I typically do on my channel. So if you guys are interested, like I said, I'll be posting them on both for now, but as we build up Samaán and do our launch and everything, I'll probably just post Samaán content exclusively on that channel. So if you guys are interested and you want to follow me on that channel, please do. Thank you guys. Anyways, it is now 6:15. I have a dinner reservation at a fancy, I guess not very fancy, but a nice Italian restaurant here in Little Italy that's pretty nearby. And I'm really excited. I love Italian food. It's my favorite. So I think I'm gonna take a shower, change over. I brought another outfit to wear just so I can feel nice. A little solo date, taking myself out. And then, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys at dinner. Okay, hold up. Before we get ready for dinner, I want to show you guys what the room looks like. This room is so sick. Oh my gosh. So there's like a little iPad here on the desk and you can control like all of the colors in the room. So if I want to switch from purple to blue, green, red, party in the room. Oh my gosh. This almost makes me want to just like stay in and play with the lights all night. This is so fun. This hotel is really cool. I mean, the room is not very big. You know, the bed pretty much takes up, it's like a little studio closet. And then this is the shower just behind me here. The hallway and the entrance. It's not a large room by any means. But the vibe here is super cool. Why isn't my camera focusing? The vibe here is really nice and it's perfect. It's just me. It's just for one night. The bed is huge. It looks like a king size bed, which will be really nice. And of course, the picturesque window here. You can't really see much because it's still really hazy out, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. How cool. How cool is that? Okay. All right. Enough of me geeking out. Let's shower and now let's really go to dinner. Cheers. Salut. Saúde. Hope you guys can hear me. It's a little noisy with the music playing, but I decided to come to Little Italy, and I found this restaurant called Buona Notte online on Google. And decided I would come because it's in Little Italy. I've actually never been to this neighborhood here, but it's kind of magical. I feel like it's still giving me Christmas vibes. I mean, January is still pretty much winter, but even the restaurant has they still have their Christmas decorations up, and it's so cute. I made a reservation for 7, but there's only a few tables in here now. I thought it would be a lot busier than it is, but it seems like the holiday rush here in New York City has died down. There's happy hour going on, so the server recommended this limoncello spritz that has Prosecco in it. Pretty good. So it's interesting. This is technically my first business trip. And so I'm learning all the things that I can expense as part of this, photography trip for the brand. Obviously any transportation, any meals, or hotel accommodations. Obviously, I don't know how it works with alcoholic beverages. I think this is something I might have to put on a separate tab, even though it's my own company. I need to do a little bit more research to see if this can be included in my dinner. I know so I work full time still, and when we're on business trips, we are allowed to expense our meals, but obviously alcohol is not expensable. So I just want to be careful for tax purposes that I'm doing the right things and following the rules. But it's kind of nice because I am here working. All day I've been, capturing content, but it also is like a little mini vacation at the same time. But it's a benefit of having an LLC that you can kind of expense some of these things. It kind of makes me excited for the future. I always, when I would travel a lot, and this is just the one image that comes to my mind. When my husband and I, when we were living overseas, we spent some time living in the Middle East in a small country called Bahrain. And we would travel a lot because it's so central to the rest of the world, to the east and west, between Asia and Europe. And it was relatively affordable to fly. And so we went to Bali a couple of times. And Bali is hands down one of my absolute favorite places to visit. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. What is your name, by the way? Gabriela. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, bread basket. So I had the opportunity to visit Bali a couple times. Literally one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. But in Bali, there's lots and lots and lots of expats that live there. And it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know. And it really opened my mind to see how many digital nomads there are living overseas. I think I put too much salt. And so we would go, obviously we're on vacationing, but we would go to these acai or cafes overlooking rice fields, and sitting next to me would be someone who appeared to be a digital nomad on their laptop working literally across from the most beautiful view, a rice field or whatever it is in Bali. And it struck me that people actually live like that, which is crazy to me and really cool. And so it made me think obviously I guess life isn't always like that. I work a very corporate job currently, 9 to 5 type of job in an office. And there's just something about being stuck in a cubicle in the fluorescent lighting that's just so depressing, even though I like my job. But to imagine that I could be traveling and working and, having these incredible experiences and kind of merging the two, which is kind of why, this idea or spark of starting my own business that is also travel related, really it was like a seed that I planted years ago that I'm just now, only now decided to take that risk and go for it. And it just makes me happy. And this is something that I've been trying to do within this past year when I decided to, take steps towards trying to make this come true. This dream come true is that, I'm just truly following my joy. Hope you guys can hear me. My mic.
This looks so good.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's beautiful. Let me show you guys this. I'm about to go ham. This is my first real meal of the day outside of that bagel. The best. Anyway, so as I was saying, those experiencing people live in these incredible places while still being able to earn money, but still have, that autonomy and freedom. Oh my God, was I so envious of that. And I was watching a podcast recently with Mel Robbins. I think she was on Emma Green's podcast called Inspire. And I don't know if you guys are familiar. And she did say, and it's so true, Mel Robbins said, pay attention when you feel envious. Because it's like a signal, it's like a sign of like something that maybe perhaps you aspire to have yourself one day. And I just can never get those images out of my mind. Seeing those digital nomads traveling, living these incredible places, having these amazing experiences. And, I know life has its constraints. People have families, kids, or whatever. And I've actively made a choice not to have children. I don't really want them. My husband and I really like our lives, how it is now. And there's just so much more that I want out of life that doesn't require me, feeling like I have to plant roots somewhere, at least not now. No shade. No offense to anyone who does. I think it's perfectly fine. It's just not for us, But anyway, being here makes me feel like, even though it seems a little crazy, and yes, maybe I'm a little bit delusional, it still feels good. It feels good, and I can settle with that. I can sit with that. That this feels good for right now. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. There's something about sitting down to dine alone that always brings your inner voice into focus. Maybe it's the stillness. Maybe it's the space to think without needing to explain yourself to anyone. In this moment, I find myself thinking about what comes next, about taking risks, real ones, about believing in my potential even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Starting a business feels a lot like traveling solo. At first, everything feels unfamiliar. You second guess yourself, your decisions. You wonder if you're doing it, quote unquote, right. But with every step, every choice you make for yourself, something begins to shift. Your confidence grows, quietly, gradually. Not because everything worked out perfectly, but because you showed yourself that you can handle what comes next. Tonight feels like one of those moments. A pause, a breath, a reminder that I am capable of more than I sometimes give myself credit for. So, I'll sit here, enjoy this meal, and keep trusting that the path reveals itself one brief step at a time. And good morning, guys. It is our final day here in New York City. It's still dark out. Yep, I'm up early because I decided to book a Pilates class this morning, which is actually my first time ever trying Pilates. So we'll check in a few hours to see whether or not that was a great idea. I also just started my first day of the 75 medium challenge, which my husband and I decided to commit to together. And I'll be honest, I've never done a challenge like this before, which makes me a little bit nervous. But my plan is just to take it one day at a time. My New Year's intention this year is really about building better systems. Systems that help me accomplish the goals I've set out for myself, instead of burning myself out trying to do everything at once. One of the goals is, of course, continuing to build this business, and that's going to require a lot of energy, physical, mental, and emotional. So taking care of my body and my mind feels like a really important part of sustaining that energy for the long haul. And apparently, this trip is just full of firsts. My first time shooting my brand content solo in a big city and in the snow. My first time trying matcha, which won't be my last. And my first time now doing Pilates. But I'm excited to try it. We've got about a 5-minute walk, so let's head out. Guys, I survived my first Pilates class ever, and I feel great. That was amazing. Thank you to the instructor, Bella. She was awesome. Being that it was my first time and I had no clue what I was doing, she made sure to take care of me, which I really appreciate, showing me, giving me specific instructions, walking me through everything so that I don't feel nervous that I'm doing something incorrectly and therefore maybe hurt myself while on this carriage, is what I think they call it. How do I feel about it? So, today is the first day that I'm starting my 75 medium challenge. This is something I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks now, as I really need to get my life together, get my fitness and health. And, I've been saying this a lot these past few weeks, but my intentions for the new year is to create better systems to support, the goals that it is that I'm wanting to achieve, because I have a lot of system failures, which is why I haven't been consistent with my physical fitness, which then ties into, the decline of my mental health, which I've been struggling with for this past year. And so, I'm trying to find avenues. I'm in a different season in my life where, back in my 20s, I would be at the gym 3 hours, and I can't do that anymore. Not that I can't do that anymore, I'm just not in that season of my life anymore. And then living up north, it just makes it even more challenging because the days are shorter and it's cold out. And so I just have to find better ways to kind of work with the season of life that I'm in now, if that makes any sense. So that was great. Pilates was great. I loved the class. As to whether I'd be willing to sign up near my home, I don't know. It's very expensive. It's not like an activity for people who, aren't committed, because it's like, I think $180 or something like that a month. And you can purchase that's equivalent to like maybe 8 classes or 10 classes. So definitely really something to think about. Definitely a financial commitment. That class, just the one class alone, was $55 plus tax. So that came out to like $57. Not cheap, not cheap, but I'd say for my first experience, definitely well worth it. And we'll see how I figure out how to better support my goals coming up into this new year. Now we're back at the hotel. Let's go shower. Whew, back in the room. Oh my gosh, do you guys see all of this sunlight on me right now? These views? Okay, let me just show you. Check it out. How incredible is that? This is why you booked this room, for these views up here. This is the higher floor, the premium view level. Absolutely gorgeous and making me really excited to get the day started. So it is currently 8:30. Because I don't have to check out until 2 p.m., I want to do a do-over and see if I can go back out in the streets and get some really cool shots of the packing cube and just like some lifestyle shots in the city for the website and for content. It doesn't seem to be too busy today. Today is Martin Luther King Day, which is a federal holiday. So there's not too much vehicular traffic on the streets. It's pretty quiet outside from like the typical city ambient noise. And so I'm hoping that if I hurry up, quickly get changed, shower, and get out there, maybe I can get the streets while there isn't so much pedestrian traffic. But yeah, enough of me rambling. Yesterday we were at a street called Stuyvesant or something like that, Stuyvesant, something like that, which isn't too far. But I think I'm gonna tackle the very famous and iconic block in SoHo with the cast iron fireplace ramps and balconies with, you know, the beautiful classic New York architecture. I think I want to target that area first because it's like a full block and just kind of play around. I want to make sure I have enough time in that space. And then if I see if I have any time left over before it's time for me to check out, I'll run over to the other area that we were yesterday that we had a complete failure because of the weather. But that's okay. Today is a new day. The sun is out. There are barely any clouds. Let's get this day started. All right, we are dressed, almost ready to go. But before we do go, it's 9:15 now. I really want to pack a little bit just so that I can have everything ready in the chance that I am running a little bit behind. Once I get out to the streets, I don't have to worry about rushing back before my 2 p.m. checkout time. And I kind of want to show you guys how the packing cube works because I realize I haven't done that yet. So let's pack up some of the things and we'll talk you through the features of this packing cube so you can decide if maybe this is something you want to add to your travel luggage system. All right, so here is the cube. Nothing inside of it. As I said yesterday, it is a nylon TPU coated material, which means essentially it's a non-rip material, and the TPU coating just adds to the durability and strength. Obviously I have my logo branding in the front, but then this is gonna be like our signature S for Samaán. I'm gonna try and incorporate kind of this signature in all of our product lines that we bring out into the future. But I like it on the packing cube, one, because you can kind of get a glimpse, a preview of what is packed inside. And your valve is here at the very top. You have a very thick loop strap because these zippers, because they're dry seal airtight zippers, they can be a little, you know, tough to zip and pull. So I wanted to make sure we had a good grippy handle to allow you guys to easily pull. And you can see it's like a very, very thick, a very thick zipper with a clasp here. So I love that feature. But let's open it up. So this is the interior. And you can see it's quite large. It's completely transparent in the back, which was something that I wanted because a lot of the vacuum seal bags that are on the market are one, either flimsy and have kind of like that cheap plastic feel. This is a high grade transparent PVC material, completely transparent so that you can see everything that you packed on the inside and get a little glimpse on the front side. So typically what I'll do, I'll open it up and obviously this material is a little bit malleable to allow for it to compress, and you'll see that it will kind of shrink a little bit. I do like to fold my clothes Marie Kondo style just to keep it organized within the cube. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then we're gonna seal it up and then vacuum compress it. All right, so here is the cube all packed up. I obviously didn't do that great of a job this time, but I'm in a rush and that's okay. I didn't bring that many clothes because I'm only here for one night. And this large sweater takes up a lot of space. And then I have my jeans, I have my pajamas. So I'm just going to close this up and compress it. I do want to note that this cube is mainly for travel purposes only, just to allow for a little bit of space efficiency within your luggage. It is not meant for long-term storage. Being that I am traveling with it and testing it out as well, I did, run a little experiment on my own, testing it, and I kept it compressed with some clothes in it for about 3 weeks. And within that time frame, full transparency, it lost, I would say about 20% of its air was still compressed, but not fully. So again, it tightens up quite nicely when you're getting ready to take your trips, but I don't recommend that you use it for any like long-term storage of like your bed sheets or towels or whatever. Here is the valve for the mini vacuum compressor. We will also be selling these as part of a bundle should you choose to, if you don't have one at home and you need your own. I think we're probably going to sell them in a 2-pack plus the mini compressor and maybe a 1 cube and 1 compressor, and then you can also buy them individually. This mini vacuum compressor does have a USB rechargeable, so you can charge it up and take it with you on your trip. You may have to plug this in your carry-on because some airlines are a little bit funny about checking this into your bag, but it is nice and small, and these are extension pieces for different valve types that you can remove. It comes with like a full set of different kinds of valves in this nice little travel mesh baggie that you can carry along with you. But here we're gonna go compress it. So all you need to do again is open the valve, make sure that your zipper is locked. There's like a little bit of a groove in here that you can feel it. Tug on that pretty tightly, make sure that it's locked. And you can see there's quite a lot of air in there for now. So all you're gonna do is put your mini compressor on top like so. I'm gonna turn this bad boy on and then just let it do its job. You can see it's already kind of squeezing out a bit of that extra air. Personally, I like to kind of squeeze it a little bit with my hands just to make sure that all of that air gets pushed out. And you'll see the cube kind of molds around your clothing items. Obviously, winter wear is always the struggle, right? Because it's thicker, it will only compress so much. So managing expectations, keep in mind that if you have anything thick, jeans like this sweater, it does a pretty good job sucking out as much air as possible, but I mean, be realistic, it's not gonna make it completely flat, but it should give you enough to be able to put it in your carry-on and, just give you a little bit more comfort that you have some additional space in your bag. And if you purchase 2, you can just stack them on top of each other and it's quite nice. All right, so it's been about, I would say 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I'm gonna turn that off. Maybe a little bit longer. I probably left it on there for like a good 30, 40 seconds. And as you can see, it's pretty tight now. And if I flip it over, completely transparent, you can see everything that is inside. And now we're gonna pack it into our bag. I can't begin to tell you guys how satisfying it is to be able to travel with my own product. I took it with me to Spain recently, We traveled to Puerto Rico over the Christmas holiday. So I've really been, you know, putting some miles on it just to really test it out and make sure that, you know, it can hold up with the travels. And I absolutely love it. It just feels so good. It just feels so nice. Sorry for all the scrunchy noise on the mic, but I love it. And it's just such a big size. So in your carry-on, this will fit one side of your carry-on completely. And then you can stack two on top, keep things neat and tight. I would typically use a smaller bag like this. This is just a manual compression bag. This is what I was using before, and these are great. Maybe I'll produce some similar ones. I'm thinking about expanding different sizes and just giving you guys smaller sizes. You can also vacuum compress as well. We'll see, one thing at a time, because I still want to, you know, do different colorways, because I know the girlies have been asking me for green. I'm not going to do any crazy colors. Maybe more neutrals is where I'll stick to. But I traveled here with my hiking bag, my 50-liter bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the back side of the bag. And because it's malleable, it fits in pretty nicely. Let me show you. And voila, all done. Now it's all compressed, and you can see I still have a lot of space in my backpack. I'm gonna put my shoes, my booties here on top. I'll put this guy, which I had my underwear in earlier, but I removed those so that I can put dirty clothes in there, because I hate mixing clean and dirty clothes, even though I'll likely wash all of it when I get home. But which reminds me, a travel laundry bag is something else that I would like to do, like a dry seal compressed one, because I feel like, especially if you're traveling a long time, your bag tends to get a little funky. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is it, guys. That is the packing cube. Again, this is going to be sold in 2 bundle types. Bundle number 1 will be 1 cube and 1 mini vacuum compressor. Bundle 2 will come with 2 of these size packing cubes and a mini vacuum compressor, but then you can also purchase it individually, and the mini vacuum compressor, tongue twister. Also, you can purchase that separately as well. But I love it. I love it so much. And even though I packed it so nicely in this bag, I'm actually gonna take it with me into the streets so that we can get some photos with it in this beautiful, lovely, gorgeous backdrop that is New York City. But you can kind of see in terms of like perspective, just like how thin it compresses everything. And it's huge. It's really huge. Like it's probably, I don't know if you guys can see, it's probably the size of my center mass. So it's really good size. And again, hope to expand it. All right, enough of me yapping on. Let's put away as much as we can, like all of my toiletries. I'll gather them, my laptops, my electronics, pack those guys up. So the very last thing I need to do is pack in this packing cube in this center mass piece of my bag. And then we, unfortunately, are gonna head home. I am gonna miss this view. I'll be dreaming about this for a very, very long time, but we'll be back because New York is not that far. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. Let's get out of here. All right, I think I found my first location for the day. This is the part where I need to be brave. It's pretty quiet right now, which will help, but the shops, some of them are open, and there are people around walking their dogs, so it is what it is. Just gotta be fearless. 5 minutes of fearlessness. And yeah, I know this is probably an unusual place to be shooting a packing cube, but the central theme behind Samaán is the story you carry. And this city, especially a place like this, is filled with so many stories layered on top of each other. So instead of keeping the cube confined to a hotel room or a suitcase, I wanted to bring it along for the journey, at least just this one time. Let it breathe. Let it move through the city. Let it exist in spaces that feel alive, textured, and full of history. Because in a lot of ways, that's what travel is about too. Carrying who you are and where you've been into wherever it is that you're going next. This trip, these last 48 hours, and honestly this past year have taught me that I can do hard things, even when I'm not feeling my best. I know the road ahead is steep. Building a business, believing in yourself before there's proof showing up when you're tired, it all asks something of you. But moments like this feel like endurance training, quiet evidence that I can keep going. Recently, I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast with the author of Atomic Habits that reminded me of something simple but powerful. Action relieves anxiety. Because once you're in motion, you're no longer just worrying about the outcome, you're influencing it. Procrastinating is really just choosing to delay a better future. In action, even a small action builds better results. Most of the outcomes we're living right now are just lagging measure of habits that came before them. It's the things we do each day, the unglamorous, repetitive choices that quietly shape where we end up. Luck and randomness will always exist. That's not in our control. But what is in our control is what we do with the time that we're given. Fix the inputs, and the outputs tend to take care of themselves. The author says that there are really only 2 time frames that matter: 10 years and 1 hour. 10 years is shorthand for the big life you want. For me, that's building a business that thrives and living as autonomously as possible. And 1 hour is much simpler. What can I do in the next hour that supports who I want to be in the next 10 years? He says that if you can live between those 2 mindsets, if you don't let the day pass without contributing in some small way, you likely won't even have to wait 10 years. Another thing that stayed with me, if you're struggling to improve, the problem isn't you, it's your system. He says we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. So instead of obsessing over the goal, I'm learning to focus on building systems that allow me to keep going. That's how this trip fits into the bigger journey. It's not a finish line, it's a data point, a lesson in trust, in patience, and belief. I doubt myself every single day. 90% of the time, I don't know what I'm doing. But as the author says, a habit has to be established before it can be improved. So here I am, showing up, taking the next small step, and trusting that momentum will do the rest. And with that, guys, we have made it, sadly, to the end of this vlog. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end, you're a champ. I know this is a long one. Sorry. But yeah, no, honestly, thank you guys so much for sticking around, learning more about this new business venture that I'm doing. I hope that it inspired you. If you guys are in a phase in your life where you have a spark, an idea, and maybe you're hesitant to just take one tiny step forward, let this be your sign that you can do it. And I just really am thankful and appreciative that you at the very least, decided to spend these, you know, however 30, 40, 50-minute long vlog, hopefully it's not that long, with me as I bounce around gorgeous New York City. And yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you up any longer. Thank you guys so much. If you want to be kind, like and subscribe down below here at this channel, Illustrated by Sade, or at the business channel, whichever channel you're catching this video at my Samaán. And you can also visit us at SamaánTravel.com. We're hoping to launch these cubes within the next couple of weeks. And so I'm really excited, nervous as hell, but you don't know what you don't know. And you know, it's just gotta go for it. Just gotta go for it and find the courage or the confidence later rather. So anyways, now I'm tripping over my words. Thank you guys again, and I will catch you guys, if not in the next video, somewhere around the world. Peace and love to you. Mwah.